This is Barac's freestyle for the Dartfish video analysis. This is Coach Connor commentating. We will be viewing this video at 1/4 of the original speed it was recorded at for video analysis purposes. Let's begin. Okay, Bella, first things first. I like that you're pushing off. You have the head down. Feet are in line with the hands, as we talked about. If the feet are on the center of the wall, we want to make sure the hands leave in that same direction. You do a very good job of that. Now just remember, before we leave the wall, we want to have that tight streamline ready to go. Okay, right now it's still a little bit opened up. Okay, we're not squeezing as tight as we should. However, you do have your body in a great position. So, as we push off, now you're in that tight streamline. That's what we like to see, fully extended. Now, take a look at your kick. Remember that on the dolphin kick, we don't want to have the knees bent too much. Okay, right there, they're improving from when we first started, but there's still just a little bit too much knee in that kick, and we want to remember to kick from the hips, okay, not the knees. Again, head position, eyes are down on that blue line. I can see those arms extending forward, so that's excellent. Now, as we come to the surface, I want you to notice that you get up on top of the water right here, and then you start swimming. Now, what we want to do, as we bring it back, is we probably want to break out right about here. Okay, this is where we want to begin our first stroke. So our breakout is the first initial stroke that helps you get up out of the water, so on top of the surface, rather than just getting to the surface and then start swimming. So we want to have a good explosive first couple strokes, and that's right as we near the surface, so right about here, and that way we come up nice and big. Good. Now I do want to bring it back and pause it for a quick second just to show you that you did have a very good first stroke, because what you did with the lead arm is exactly what we want to do. Kept that lead arm out. Notice that elbow's coming in. That's a great freestyle stroke. Okay. We have that elbow pushing out, and that hand is beginning to push towards the hip in the back. Okay. The lead arm could be a little more extended. Okay. I don't want to see a bend in that lead arm. I want that lead arm really extending down towards the end of the pool. Okay, as long as possible, with those fingertips reaching. Okay, great job on keeping the head down. You didn't breathe on the first couple strokes, so that's excellent. Good, nice powerful pull, so that's another great sign. Now, the other thing I want to talk about with your stroke is I want you to see how wide you're coming out with it. Okay, swinging out, and then it's also, okay, a little bit too early on that lead arm pull. You've got your backhand coming out. Okay, backhand's coming out, lead arm's already starting to pull through, and then we end up having one arm down towards the bottom of the pool, one arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, so our weight isn't distributed evenly, and we want to make sure we're keeping a lot of our body weight pushing forward rather than down. And when we're in this position, we end up sinking a little bit more. So what we want to see is this lead arm stays right about here until that stroke comes right about here. This is where we want our arm to be as we begin the lead arm. Okay, so this right here, we want that lead arm to stay there until our stroke in the back. Okay, our recovering arm, as we call it, the one that's coming out of the water currently, we want to bring that recovery arm a little bit closer to the lead arm than we have it right now before we begin that next stroke cycle. Okay, and the other thing I want you to notice is how wide the stroke is going. So if you notice, your hands, your arm are reaching out towards this direction. Okay, we want to bring it more so right here. We want those fingertips getting ready to enter first, and what that's also going to do, it's going to help increase that high elbow position. And if we keep that lead arm out in front, it's going to help us really get that extension as we pull through with that proper arm position. So we're going to be able to have a longer smoother, more efficient stroke. Okay, let's watch a few more strokes and then we're going to talk about your breathing. Okay, let's start with this. Now when we breathe, one big thing that I always tell everyone is we want to keep our eyes low. And what I mean by that is we want to be breathing and looking at the gutter line or the lane line. Okay, so for this example, we'll say the gutter line since it's right there. Now, if you notice where I made the mark on the gutter line and to where your eyes are looking more so up, okay, at the camera. We want to make sure our eyes stay at the gutter line because if our head over rotates, okay, lifts up and over rotates, it causes our arm, as you can see here, okay, to cut over the center of the body line. So now we're doing what we call a crossover, okay, and it makes it hard to recover from if we're crossing over and taking a big breath going into that next stroke cycle. See, you'll see what I mean by the crossover if I bring it back right here. Now when we breathe, okay, not only the head position, but pay attention to the body position as well. Specifically, in this picture, we want the legs to be fully extended, okay? We should never see a knee bend, especially on freestyle, on the breath, okay? We want to keep those legs fully extended, feet nice and relaxed, the kick going the whole time. You're doing a great job of keeping the kick going the whole time, as we see right here. Okay, legs are constantly moving, especially when we breathe, so that's really important. If we're going to do the proper breathing mechanics, the proper body position, you have to have the kick, which you do, so that's good. So that means the rest of those fixes will be nice and easy. Okay, right there, I want you to see this is a good shot here specifically on the stroke that we were talking about earlier with how you swing the arm out wide. Okay, and how we want those fingertips. So when we come out of the water, we want to be able to see the back of your hand, okay, initially, and then as you bring it over, high elbows with that fingertip entering the water. So we want to see those fingertips down, kind of just along the side of your body, rather than swinging out, as we see here. Okay, so we want a high elbow position, because again, that's going to keep it inside the body line, keep that lead arm extended out in front. Then when we finish that stroke, so when we go from recovery into that extension out in front, it's going to make that stroke a lot longer, a lot more efficient, therefore a lot faster. Okay, and again, right here, the breath, as you can see, you're going from the head is down in a nice position, okay? You go from being in a relaxed head position, eyes are down, to, as I can tell when you're about to breathe, because the head is lifting, head comes up out of the water and completely turns, and then we end up crossing over, okay? And I think that's also one of the reasons why our knee is bending, is because if the head position lifts up, okay, and then the arms come out in front and they're crossing over, we're trying to compensate with the kick by bending the legs so we grab more water, okay? To where now we got the head back down, you can see how the kick, okay, the kick kind of straightens back out, and we're back to full extension, okay? So every time we take that breath, we need to make sure we stay low, okay, low and quick, so that we don't lose that body position, because if we're resetting our body position and our stroke every time we breathe, you know, you got to think about how many times you breathe in just a single 25. That, you know, even if you breathe 4 or 5 times, which isn't that much, when it's only a 25 and you're losing body position every time you breathe, you're going to slow down tremendously. Whereas if we fix that, you're going to pick up speed tremendously. So really, these are small things that can be fixed in practice. A lot of the drills we do, such as 10-1, okay, catch up. Catch up is a big one. 10-1 and catch up are the biggest drills in terms of breathing correct, with proper timing, low head position. Okay, so we're going to keep doing those drills, kind of keep reinforcing these habits that we now see at a closer view. Um, so now let's take a look at the finish as we come into the wall. Okay, so keep in mind everything we've been talking about earlier. Now right there, that's a big one. If we're inside the flags, okay, inside the 5-yard mark, which if you can tell right here with the solid blue lane line markers, okay, that is inside the 5-yard mark. So that's, we don't want to breathe, especially on a freestyle finish. We want to keep the head down. The last thing we want to do before finishing in a race is losing body position right at the end and getting touched out by an opponent, or just barely missing a time, a personal best. And it's one little simple thing of just not breathing inside 5 yards to the wall. So as you can see, your body position's out of line going in. We just get the head down. Okay. And then, as you see right there, with that breath right before the wall, okay, it ended up throwing our body position, not only our body position, but our timing into the finish, because as you can see, we finish this breath, and really you could just extend, okay, all the way through, keep that kick going, but because we took that breath and that body position just threw us out of line just a little bit, you have to make that decision on taking another stroke, so you take another half stroke into the wall, and we end up finishing on our opposite side. So whatever arm is extending towards the wall, we want to finish on that side. So your right arm is finishing, we want to finish with the right arm fully extended, okay, and the head down as well. So it's just a few things. If you can just fix the head position when you breathe, okay, that's going to take care of the arm positioning coming around, okay. You're going to get a quicker breath. You won't have to swing the arm out. You can have higher elbows. Your timing on the pull would be more efficient. And then because the body position's better, you won't be bending the knee during the kick, okay. And then at the end of the race, we'll be able to time out that finish perfectly, okay, inside the flags. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the flip turn, the underwater video, and the flip turn video as well.